Dear friends, thank you for taking the time to join us. We're here gathered as family, friends, and fans of Valentine Shipley. We're here to pay tribute to a great man who I believe, as I have spent time thinking and talking to each one of you, many of you gathered here, I realize that here is a man who has lived at least three lives in his lifetime. It's all condensed in one lifetime. I would like to invite his sister, Mona Shipley, to begin this evening by sharing her thoughts with us.
Thank you, Aubrey. Uh, it's I still feel it's all very surreal, but seeing all of you people, I think Val, I'm sure, is looking from above. He's having a concert there for God, but I don't know where I need to start because all of you guys, I think you know him in and out, most of you. And perhaps what I can only say, Val and Dolly, as my brother, I mean, as siblings, we always are like dogs and cats, and I was similar with him. We were similar, but I realize all siblings and all families have the same thing. And Val's legacy began with his dad's elder brother called Van Shipley, as we all know. And Val wanted to take his legacy forward. He was known as the man with the golden guitar. He introduced the guitar to the film fraternity in India. He worked with Raj Kishore, I don't know, I forgot the name, Raj Kapoor. He won 2 Filmfare Awards. He played across the world. And Val was I Want to Be Van Shipley and more. And I mean, he took on that mantle, and his passion was guitar. Right from when he was age 3, my dad, who was a reverend, he used to conduct a lot of evangelical meetings all over the world. He was just picked up and put onto the stage, Val, sing. And he got so angry, he came down from the stairs and he said, I will go myself and then I will sing. So that was that. Always wanted to have his way. And I mean, coming from, our father was a priest and our mother was a school teacher. And we've always grown up as a Christian Orthodox family. And my dad had a different calling of connecting people through religion, through social work. And now when I read all tributes, I think Val was a big connector in his own way. I think in our lives, all of us, we strive that once we die, how are people going to remember us? And I always saw him as a brother, but I never realized what a huge, huge star he was in his own right. Listening to all of you, I don't see Val as my brother, but I see Val as a very pure, genuine soul who just came into our midst and he just did his work and he just left. There was none of us that could hold on to him, and he went in such a way that Val will never be gone. I mean, Val will always stay in our hearts. And there's only he's always been like a fakir, like a vagabond. And we thought, why doesn't he fit into the mold that we want for him? But his was music is his passion. Music is his life. He, like my dad, throughout his life, Val, what do you want to do? I want to do music. And that's it. He struggled, he survived. He had all of you as his fraternity. And I mean, he made it. And we are always, as his family, Val, you still have to do this. You still have to do that. But I mean, he is out there. He's a rock star. I don't know what to even say. It's just like I was saying, when we die, what do we want to be? Like, what do people want to talk about us? And when I see the tributes for Val, I see his friends calling me. He's introduced me to so many of his friends. I can't believe the amount of strength and support they have given me. And to my sister, who is in New Zealand, I mean, she's our middle sister and closer to Val. But I mean, we were very strong as a family and we definitely dearly miss him. But knowing all of you and the support that he got, it's like there's only two. I'm unable to think. I'm unable to be coherent right now, but the only thought that came to me was, now when I see the tributes and I see the love that he gets, when Val was in the world, he was not in the world. And now when Val is not in the world, he is all over the world. And I think Val will never, never go. He survives through his music, he survives through his friend. And most importantly, Val's legacy is Diva. He wanted Diva to continue to play the guitar. And it's just like last 2 months that they started to sing together. And I haven't seen him so happy in the last couple of years like he was in the last year when he started singing with Diva. Diva is his heart and soul, and she continues to be our family. And I mean, she will get all the love and support from you all and from us. She's never going to be without. Maybe we cannot replace her dad, but we can definitely be there for her. That I absolutely assure. And what more can I say? I don't know. You guys know everything. But yeah, I think me and my sister, we are too shocked. We are too stunned. He was taken away too quickly. And I think it will take us some time. But thank you. I think music definitely is a healer, is a connector. Val, my compassionate human being, sweet, pure soul. I mean, sorry, I just realized when you're gone, I wish I had known some of these things earlier. But the only thing I can say to all of us, why do we need a death to connect all of us like this? I wish we can have these kind of connections or get together when we are more alive, so people get to know exactly how they are felt, how they are thought of. And I know he's watching from up there. And I would really, really like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. And for Dolly, I speak for Dolly as well. Thank you so much. Wish you all a very happy new year. And I'm sure Val would never, ever would like us to be sad. I mean, he just spread love. He spread compassion. He spread kindness. Not one single soul had anything negative to say for Val. I am so shocked. I haven't seen a soul जो कभी किसी की बुराई नहीं करता था. मुझे नहीं पता, लेकिन मुझे लगता है लोगों के वो समझ में ही नहीं आया, और अब जब वो हमारे बीच में से चला गया तो हम उसकी अहमियत समझ रहे हैं. I hope people in the future, they do learn that, we need to be much more kinder to people, and we need to be compassionate, and we need to see through people and what they really are before it's too late. So I think that's all, Aubrey. I hope I made some sense.
You made tremendous sense. Thank you, Mona. Mona, I could resonate with what you were saying. We did talk about it. When I've interacted with Val, and when I look back, and when I've interacted with each one of you, by the way, in this room, as I speak to them, to each one of you, I realize he's probably lived 3 lifetimes in one. Packed, Dolly, Val means love. That's right. What better way of celebrating his life than through a global language, which is love and music, if I may add. Thank you, Dolly, for that. Actually, Val, if I could remember Val, it's Love and Amazing Grace. And Bobby, thank you for choosing that song, and we will come to that. But before we do that, I want to focus on Diva. Diva, we love you very much, just as we love your dad very much. And I want to introduce Diva. Where is Diva? Diva, can you come online? She is
there.
Yes, Diva. So Diva, let me introduce Diva to the world. Diva is a daughter of her father, Valentine, and the daughter of her mother, Deepti. And I've been speaking to Valentine, and all he can say and talk about is his daughter. His dear daughter, Diva. Diva, you are much loved by all your dad's friends. May I invite you to say a few words, whatever your heart feels like saying and sharing right now. This is your first steps. Can we have everyone mute? Could I request everyone to mute and just have
Yes.
The speaker.
I think it's Abhinav. Abhinav, you need to put your mic on mute now. You can hear us, we can hear you.
Right. Okay, Diva, please go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you're loud and clear.
Okay. I don't know what to say, like, really. So, um, I just it still hasn't sunk in. He's not here. He's like, cause I used to go to his house every day and be there for like I used to come back in the evening. I used to do my classes over there. So I really don't know what to say. I'm wearing his jacket. This is his jacket. Most of you have seen it.
Right.
And I wanted to like thank all of you for this and for all the support you have shown me. And I hope we can stay in touch. And that's all.
Thank you, Diva.
Diva,
Thank you very
thank you,
much.
Diva. May God bless you abundantly. And, we love you, Diva. Just stay in touch. We will be in touch with you. You are in our hearts. You are in our prayers, okay, Diva? And this song is dedicated to you. This was your dad's favorite song. Amazing Graces. Name Valentine meant love, which is universal language. And he knew the universal language of music. And his life, besides meaning love, also represents amazing grace. Thank you, Bob.
This is especially for Val. And Diva, I just want to tell you something, that you were very, very close to your dad's heart. And in fact, just a couple of months back, as you know, he got me to record a voice slip for you, just to encourage you and talk about your legacy and just to encourage you. He'd call me up many times, he'd talk about you. Many times he would ask me to pray for you. So you'll always be in my prayers, and I know that all these people are always there with you and for you. But your dad was also a man of faith who believed in the grace of God, and he had God's love in his heart for every one of us. And very often when we were together, we would sing this song, and we've performed it on stage. So here is Amazing Grace. All of us need to Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. And I was blind, but now I see. And it was grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear, the hour that I first believed. Yes, through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. And it was grace that brought me safe thus far, and grace that will lead me home. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I was lost, but now I'm found. I was blind, but now I see. And when we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. Amazing grace, oh how sweet the sound, saved a wretch like me. I was lost, but I'm found, and I was blind, but now I see.
Thank you, Bob. That was amazing. This is Dolly's response. She says, "Yes, it is because of the amazing grace of God on our lives that we have an absolutely amazing family around us." That's right. We are a family. And thank you, says Dolly, Christopher, and Credo from New Zealand. Thank you, Bob. That is precious.
Thank you.
And
Aubrey,
yes, yes.
Uma is trying to join in. I think.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there she is.
Uma should be in. Yeah. Don't worry, they'll be let in. They'll be let in.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. So thank you for that. And I'd like to invite Sudhanshuji to share a few words at this point. We're all friends of Val. And let me talk after Sudhanshu does. Sudhanshuji?
The moment I got the news that he's no more, it was something which was most unbelievable. और उसी समय शायद एक जगजीत ने गाई एक गजल के कुछ पंक्तियां याद आ गई मुझे। चिट्ठी ना कोई संदेश, जाने वो कौन सा देश जहां तुम चले गए। कोई आह तो की होगी, हमने ना सुनी होगी। जाते जाते तुमने आवाज तो दी होगी। बस एक ही है अब गम, उस वक्त कहां थे हम जब तुम चले गए। Van was an outstanding human being. I knew him because we went to a great institution called Xavier's, where we were all school kids. In fact, I see a lot of friends who are from Xavier's. And his passion for Xavier's and his passion for music, I thought, were equal to each other. I must narrate that when we were celebrating the 50th year of St. Xavier's at Dubai, where all of us had gone to celebrate, he sang non-stop for 7 hours. His fingers were dripping with blood, but his love and his passion was so profound that it was timeless. I mean, it's so deeply etched in our memories that he will always be there. A great man, a great human being, great singer, I mean, all greats which you can associate with any human being, they were all a part of his persona. His daughters here, I can only say, Vita, we salute your father. We take you as family, and I'm just a phone call away. Anytime ever, please remember I'm there. And so is all everybody from St. Xavier's. We've all cherished him. He is so all. I mean, if you could have seen the tributes which were paid to him on the WhatsApp groups, I think you would have known how much loved he was in his fraternity. I pray to God that it gives you strength and your family strength to bear this loss. One will always be there. He'll always be with his smiling face, singing for everybody and looking at us with such fondness. Well, I salute you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sudhanshu. That was really touching. We have deep connections, and I know this fact that many of us, in fact, when we look back, many of the rock bands that made an impact on this nation came from that era, Sudhanshuji, from your era of, and how many of them came from St. Xavier's. It's just amazing. Val was telling me that every inter-school, inter-college competition, there were St. Xavierites that were winning all the contest prizes. This is an amazing institution that has produced amazing people and an amazing person in Val. Before we continue, and there is a little tribute, there's a video tribute that the St. Xavier's students, ex-students have made. Before that, I'd like to call on Prasoon Joshiji. Prasoon is a dear friend of Val, and let him share more. Prasoonji.
Thank you, Aubrey. First of all, thank you for inviting me here today. As Sudhanshuji was just sharing, I was equally shocked when I heard the news. And I confirmed, of course, one would try to call him, but that's a different thing. So I started calling many others and try to check whether it's true, because we were connected. And everybody talked about his daughter, Diva, and he was very proud of her, and he used to sort of share pictures very, very fondly, And Val and me go a long way. I mean, when we were doing this album for Silkroute, that's the first album I wrote in actually the pop world. That was Munde, and he was playing with us, and we used to jam, the whole Silkroute gang that was that time together, and I was writing the songs. So we used to jam those days. And since then, well, I met him a number of times in my McCann annual celebration. Everybody, if you ask in our agency, advertising agency McCann, which I run, everyone knows Val, because he would be part of our celebrations every year. Not India, around the globe. There are messages from New York, from London, from various people who had visited us and were there at the time Val has performed. Now, one thing, so many artists here. Bobby's here. It's lovely to see him today. I'm connecting with you after so long. I didn't want to connect like this, but well, Val has got us together. They all remember him because they all performed with him. Whether you were good, bad, you're a good performer, bad performer, it doesn't matter. Val had no artistic condescension in his personality. No condescension at all. He would jam with just anyone. Some artists make you feel a little conscious that you are not blessed as good as him or her, because there is a pedestal from which they perform. Val moved onto you. He became one with you. Before you were singing with him. He got the art out of you. He got that sur out of you. And it is not easy, believe me. Everybody knows his dexterity in how good he was as a guitarist, but he never made you conscious of that. He was like a pillar holding the sur, एंड बेसुरे लोग गा रहे हैं, जैम कर रहे हैं, सबको ये एहसास हो रहा है जैसे मुझसे अच्छा शायद कोई दूसरा सिंगर है ही नहीं. ये करता था वेल आपके साथ, और ये आसान चीज नहीं है. ये आपके अंदर से एक प्यार होना चाहिए, आपके अंदर लव फॉर ह्यूमैनिटी होना चाहिए. आपको दूसरे को देख के खुशी जिसे मिलती है, दूसरे को बिलिटल करके खुशी नहीं मिलती थी वेल को, दूसरे को खुश देखकर उसे खुशी मिलती थी. एंड मैंने आई हैव सीन इट नंबर ऑफ टाइम, विटनेस दैट. So many people, supposedly they're probably bathroom singers. He would encourage them, come, join us, and they, second moment you see that they are all singing together. That was well. He was there. His music was there to unite you. He was that special connection we all of us had. That's the reason, the moment, Aubrey said that we are doing this, I said, well, it didn't take me a second to say I would be here. Because you can't hold back for well. He never held back. And so this is, and I was just thinking to decide something as you were asking some of you. Some time back I had written कि मैं अक्सर सोचता था, काले काले इन अंधेरों में दिए जो टिमटिमाते हैं, जलाता कौन है उनको. मैं अक्सर सोचता था, काले काले इन अंधेरों में दिए जो टिमटिमाते हैं, जलाता कौन है उनको. मैं अक्सर सोचता था जब भटक जाता था रस्तों पे, कहां से लोग आते हैं, मुझे रास्ता बताते हैं, या फिर संग बैठ के जो बांट लेते हैं मेरी मुश्किल, बिना कुछ चाहे मुझसे सुर में मेरे सुर मिलाते हैं. मैं अक्सर सोचता था दर्द ही लिखा है चेहरों पर, कहीं पीड़ा की सरसों खेत में एक दुख सुनाती है, कहीं पर घाव रिश्ते हैं, कहीं पर चोट कोई लब से आंसू बहाती है, मगर फिर भी मेरे होंठों पर यह मुस्कान कैसे है. निराशा है अगर इतनी तो फिर अरमान कैसे है. मैं सपने देखता हूं फिर भी उनमें रंग भरता हूं, है मेरे पंख भीगे फिर भी मैं परवास करता हूं. मैं अक्सर सोचता था सच मगर ये आज ही जाना, हैं कुछ दिल ऐसे जिनमें धड़कने मेरी सलामत हैं, जो मेरी सांस में भरते हैं खुशबू, गीत रचते हैं, जो मेरी जिंदगी को प्यार से महफूज रखते हैं. मैं आज उन कदमों को चूमूंगा, उनकी धूल माथे पर रचाऊंगा, सजाऊंगा, सलामी उनको दूंगा मैं, सलामी उनको दूंगा मैं. My gratitude and salami to well.
Thank you, Prasoon. That was such a loving, touching tribute. Really appreciate your wonderful words. And, St. Xavier's, Parikrama, Silkroute, there's so much of intersecting points. And I want to play this, since Prasoon has just mentioned it, I want to play this song, Val's rendition of Bunde. And really, let's connect. Let's connect with every point that is shared. Let's connect musically. So here you are, Prasoon. Enjoy that.
Must be in a retreat. Miranda's on a holiday in Missouri.
जन्मों से क्यों राह में खो गए, मंजिल हमें बुलाने लगी धीमे से भोले से सरगम जो कहने लगी आने लगी चाहे तेरी ला 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 नगमा हो भीगा सा या तुम कोई गजल हर पल जिसे गुनगुनाता रहूं धीमे से भोले से सरगम जो बहने लगी आने लगी चाहे तेरी ला 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 ला
That was lovely. Thank you for those lovely lyrics, Prasoon, and for your lovely tribute. Really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Is there any other words you'd like to share, Prasoon?
No, I think I think there's so many people I would love to hear from them. I can go on and on about him, but I think there are a lot of people who know him. Some of them know him actually him. I would love to hear them. Well, we should meet again on on his name. Definitely, he has united us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I think we shall do that. That's a heart's cry, isn't it? Isn't that what Mona also touched upon when she? I think why wait? Why not meet regularly? And let's do that. Let's make it happen, Prasoon and Sudhanshuji and everyone. Yakub, we have Yakub, Matthew. We're talking about a lot of friends from across the world. Val has family, friends, and fans, not just in Delhi NCR region or Nagpur, but across India and across the globe. And we have Yakub Matthew from New York. We have a recorded statement, but I've also invited him to speak live. Thank you, Yakub, for all the connections and all the help that you've done in the last few hours. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Aubrey. This is a sort of a moment of celebration. We all are here together to celebrate Val. Val has been part of my growing up years, I think the last 5 decades. And we all came from the same school, St. Xavier's. And that school was what Val epitomized. That school was a celebration of love, talent, sport, music, academics, and tolerance. So it was an amazing place which resulted in so many beautiful souls coming out all over the world. And we are scattered everywhere. But the bonding, the amazing affection that we have for each other. Like I slept probably at 2 in the morning, and that's when I WhatsApped you. I said, maybe you can just play the recording. But then I said, hey, I'll sleep less. It is early morning here in New York. But Val was a guy who epitomized all those qualities, brought us all together. In the old days, we had Sushmit and Rahul. And one day I told Sudhanshu, hey, we have a guy called Val. We got to move him in. And in the end, he stole our heart. Today, our soul is so happy that he was part of us. Every time we got together, the last was in February, and February 2020, just before the COVID. And he just stole our heart away. And our soul will be always smiling and saying thank you. So having said that, Diva, you have a very, very promising life. It's a precious life. Your father loved you, and you must make your father proud. And you have Dolly, you have Mona, you have Deepti, you have many loving families. And this one family called St. Xavier's taught us how to play the man. And Val played the man. What that meant was you go beyond yourself. And Val touched so many lives, and that love will remain everlasting. So the guitar man will play his music and live in our hearts forever. Thank you. And our deep condolences to the family, and all Xavierians will remember Val forever.
Thank you, Yaku. That was touching. And, we want to play a video that the St. Xavier boys have made as a tribute to Val. Let's play that.
Xavier sing, cheer for the happy heart, cheer for the carefree day. Xavier's on the mesa, and move the heart always. For the king, for the poor, for the man is trying to stay out, for the poor, for the blind, for the brothers in the world, for the long, for the long, for the people in the city. Right, to see and us to walk the light. Shout in the very rain. Everybody stand and make the show once again. Every sound of Xavier sing. Cheer for the happy hours, cheer for the every day.
That was you get a sense of, for those of us across the world who, this will give you a sense of what the St. Xavier boys, their spirit is.
This is the event I was talking about where he played for 7 hours. And
right.
As I said, his fingers were bleeding, but he was so full of life, and he was so, I would say, gracious that he knew we were all enjoying, and he went on and on and on. I mean, that was well. Yes. Can't say a word more.
No, yes. This is in Dubai, right, Sudhanshu?
This was in Dubai, the 50th, we are celebrating 50 years of Xavier's.
Yes.
And it was a Val-centric evening,
Yes.
because we sang the school song and the prayers and we had an assembly. And as I said, since Val was there, he was the center of all that.
But I just have one correction, Aubrey. Just one correction. Sudhanshuji saying he talks about 7 hours. 7 hours was the official part of the evening, because at the end of the 7 hours, then he came to my room, and I tell you what, we played from 9 p.m. at night till 7 a.m. the next morning.
My God.
And at the end of it, he just collapsed on a sofa, in my room, and that's it. Never uttered a word about, never said anything. He just said that everybody's enjoying, everybody's having fun, school evening, school do. And that's in one line, if anybody was to ever describe Val to us, the man who would never say no to you. Simple, straight up. Val, you're joining me. That's it. No questions asked ever. I just wanted to add to that.
Thank you, Bhupinder.
There's one song Val was very, very fond of, which was Ganga Nahale. I hope, if somebody could sing that song for him, that was,
all right.
I mean, on so many occasions, he would sing this, and he would always tell me, so you must listen to this. I really love this song, Ganga Nahale. Kabir ka मतलब कबीर के दोहे सुनाते थे और उसी में फिर ये गंगा नहा ले.
Sudhanshu, I'll try and get that. I think I've selected that. Let me just see. I selected one particular Kabir that I liked, and I hope it's that one. We'll just, play that in a little while. And Sudhanshu, you mentioned about his playing the guitar where his fingers were bleeding, right? They're talking about playing the guitar. The person who taught him the guitar first, and who gifted him the guitar when he was barely a young boy, is still alive today. Is Father Basil Miranda. I think some of you might know him. He's still alive.
Yeah. Miranda Sahib was there for the celebrations,
That's right. Yeah. So let's listen from him and his tribute to Val. Okay. He couldn't be with us because he's in the hills in Missouri with the family, but he sent us a video, and let's hear him out.
Good evening, everyone. So to speak about Valentine is something very difficult for me to do, because he has been so close to me throughout his school life, and especially after I discovered that he was a drummer, a guitarist and a singer. He has always been a very special music student to me. Valentine and his guitar are inseparable, and I fondly remember him always being there with his guitar in the music room or in the biology lab, be it for any practice. He has won laurels for the school at so many inter-school music competitions. I last sent him a message that was a month ago on the feast of our patron saint for music, St. Cecilia. And he replied saying that he is just a hope peddler in today's fragmented world, crying for healing. Such a God-fearing person, affectionate and loving. Can't believe he is no more. I always remember playing with him in Dubai at the Dr. Jubilee celebration in the year 2018. We had planned to perform together at some future events in the school, but it was not to be. He was such an exuberant person, full of life and energy. We will miss him. I will miss him so much whenever we have the school functions and so on. Thank you.
Aubrey, I think you're on mute.
Yes,
Aubrey, you're mute.
Sanjoy, Bhupendra, thank you. Get so carried away with the emotions that we forget the little buttons, to press the little buttons, right? Bhupendra, did you put that video, put together that video that we just saw? Yeah.
Not only did he do that, Bhupendra was the one who coordinated everything. He was the most, I would say, the most active, who was updating us from time to time about everything what was going on in Nagpur, including he sent us the link for the prayer service which was held, and everything. Then Bhupinder has taken upon himself the responsibility of getting us all together to contribute our bits to ensure that Diva is well looked after. And I'm really grateful for that, because that was Bhupinder's idea, and given his relationship with everybody, instantly all across there was instant response to what Bhupinder had to suggest. And thank you, Bhupinder, for being so thoughtful and so profound in your tribute to Val.
No, there's nothing to thank, unfortunately, Aubrey. I mean, there's so many civilians all around. There's Chintan, Nitin, and Rahul, Sushmit, Yakub. There's another video. I think you probably have it. Rahul must have shared it with you.
Just about to share.
Yeah, which is what I had prepared. Maybe you want to play that and then.
Yeah. So let's play the other one that Bhupendra Chaubey. And thank you, Bhupendra. And this is commendable. This is fantastic. And I'll move on to the next section after this video.
Sure.
When you look back and connect the dots, quote unquote, Mr. Steve Jobs. And I think I'm very, very blessed to be able to live this very, very amazing life of traveling, of playing music. Take my yoke upon you and walk here by my side. Let me hear your heartaches and dry the tears you've cried. Never will I leave you. Never walk away. I'll lead you through the darkness and keep you through the day. Maya Marina Manmara. It was like a cult kind of a club with a cult kind of a following. And these guys, all our members would follow it anywhere. उस समय Facebook नहीं होता था, Twitter नहीं होता था. There was no internet majorly like the way it is technology. But it's the power of verbal communication. And especially musicians telling musicians, it was like Chinese whispers. It just kept getting bigger and bigger. I could not have asked for anything more, and I will not trade this for anything in my life, for anything. To be able to meet people, hear their stories, share my story, listen to their music, the cultures. I am a huge foodie, to get to travel and savor various kinds of cuisines in the world, various kinds of dressing, headgear, music. But it's the same. When a musician, you make friends everywhere, just like that. इस रात में दमका है जो, दमका मतलब इज एन एक्सप्लोजन ऑफ लाइट. इस रात में दमका है जो, ये चांद सा चमका है जो, वो नूर है तेरी आंख का बुझ जाए तो सब राख है।
वाह
वो नूर है तेरी आंख का, बुझ जाए तो सब राख है। Everything is ash.
This world is lost its glory. Let's start a brand new story now. Our love. Cause you say that I don't even need a single word I say. Come on, people. It's only words. Words are all I have to take your heart away.
I think music is something, it is a language that has no language barrier. It's the same 7 notes connecting the whole world, all cultures, all religions, all caste, all creed, everything. It's a common language. You might not understand the language, but you feel the power of music.
Oh Lord, my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the worlds thy hands have made, I see the stars, I hear the rolling thunder, thy power throughout the universe display. How great thou art! How great thou art!
Excellent. Bhupinder, thank you so much for putting this together. This is really, I just got I got a audio clipping from Kunal, which I believe would be Val's response to each of his friends, each one here in this room, each one across the world. Okay, can I play this out for you? It's just an audio clip, but I believe it's so apt, and I got it just the right time, just now, while the song was being played. And here it goes. Okay, heart touching. Dil se dil tak. Audible?
Yeah, sure.
तेरी जीत मेरी जीत, तेरी हार मेरी हार, सुन मेरे यार, तेरा गम मेरा गम, तेरी जान मेरी जान, ऐसा अपना प्यार, जान पे भी खेलेंगे, तेरे लिए लेंगे, जान पे भी खेलेंगे, तेरे लिए लेंगे, सबसे दुश्मनी, ये दोस्ती नहीं तोड़ेंगे, तोड़ेंगे मगर तेरा साथ ना छोड़ेंगे. Happy Friendship Day, everybody. तोड़ेंगे मगर तेरा साथ ना
I think this would be his response. If as he's listening to each one of us here, he's been a friend. He's been a dear friend to all of us. And let's move on. Let's move on. From here, from the St. Xavier's batch of boys, we've had musicians galore that have given to the nation of India and to the world from here in rock, in terms of rock music. And we had our dear friend Val join as a founding member of Parikrama and then of Silkroute. And I want to take us all through that journey. Okay. And who can I call? Who would like to speak from Parikrama? I'd like to leave the floor open to any member of Parikrama band right now. Thank you, Nitin. Thank you, Nitin.
Okay. Yeah, Val was with us for, I mean, with Parikrama for just a couple of years, 93 to 95. And we started the band in 91. And unfortunately, I already was the main vocalist at that for the band. So we could not actually utilize Val's prowess as, a lead singer. But then I heard him do the backing vocals and the way he used to play the guitar and how quickly he picked up songs. It was unbelievable. And if I remember, it was a long time ago, but I think he used to do a few songs even then as the lead singer. And that's when I would just sit down and it was, for me, being in a band was something very new. It had just been 2 years. But looking at him, even on stage at that time, the ease with which he would not forget a single line, not forget a single note in the melody, improvise, and just how it was when you see something like that, you all that comes to your mind is that it's not like, oh, he's so good or he's so, it's just that this is what he was meant to do and he's doing it. And I'm lucky to be a part of as a witness to watching this. And I'll give you an example. I'll try to make this as brief as possible. After all that, after the Parikrama days, we were playing a show, a concert in Hyderabad in 2007. And we were actually about to start and the concert got rained out. It just rained so badly and it came up to half the stage. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the equipment out and set it up and play. So we decided we're gonna do an unplugged set. Unplugged, just with me on the acoustic guitar, and I would probably know 2 or 3 songs at the most on an acoustic guitar and sing. Now, Valentine on that day was in Hyderabad playing a solo show somewhere else in the same city. And he had just gotten over that. He just finished that. And my brother Subir Malik, who's also who's the founder guy in Parikrama, he called him up and said, "Ki, hey, kya kar raha hai?" कहते कुछ नहीं, कहते गाना गाएगा. Obviously. So he sent a car, picked him up, came back, and Val just came on stage and just took it up from there. I was just like, man, can we just carry him with us everywhere we go in case it rains, or even if it doesn't, let's just put it out there, because he is like, you really need, he'll never be in a shortage of songs entertain people. He just had too many. He knew, I remember Rahul or somebody saying that he knew about 5,000 songs, and if it was humanly possible, I actually believe that if there's one person on earth who in one night would be able to play and sing 5,000 songs, not in one night, over a week or a month, I can only think of one guy who can do that. And that's our friend here. I'll always remember him with a smile on his face, irrespective of what he was going through in life at times. It was always a smiling face that would greet you. And that's how I will always remember him. And I think everyone in Parikrama would always remember him that way. His smile will never leave us. Thank you for everything, Val. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely, Nitin. I totally agree with you. We were talking the other day, and Diva, this is especially for you and the next generation. We were talking about the next generation and what we can do for them. And we I'm sure he's done this with many. He's a collaborator with each one of us. He's collaborated, right? And simultaneously, he lives many lives in one lifetime. And so one of the collaborations that we were working on is to do things for the next generation, to sow the seeds into the next generation. And especially during these COVID-19 days, where the generation doesn't know how to, there's depression, there's hopelessness, there's all sorts of emotions out there. How do we bring about an element of positivity and encouragement and hope. And we said, let's share the stories of musicians because they go through hardships. And they've, musicians, by telling the story of how they overcome their hardships, would lend a classic example of how we need to live our lives. And this is the project. I'm going to share with you some projects that we discussed and that we are going to go through as an academy. But Nitin, here is the response to your saying that whether it rains or doesn't rain, it'll be good to have him. You know something? Every time he spoke about his past, it's like he never left Parikrama. He never left anyone. The relationships continued. And the favorite song he would always talk about, but I asked him, which is he says the song, But It Rained. And I'm going to play that for all of us. But It Rained. That was Val's favorite Parikrama song.
Theme tucked away safe in my mind. A little goodbye maybe, or just a passing smile. The birds fly away to the southern sky, searching a home. A bunch of paper flowers or a little boy left all alone. Can somebody hear me? I'm screaming from so far away. Morning, who will calm you now? The evening is eclipsed again. Well, does life get any better? More yesterdays than todays. How I thought the sun would shine tomorrow, but it rained. They justified the cause for which Daddy might give up his life. So long a time, but still I miss Daddy at night. The ache is long gone, but the never keeps staring along. The waters in the seas are high, and all the sand castles have drowned. Well, does life get any better? More yesterdays than todays. How I thought the sun would shine tomorrow, but it rained.
Well, that's for you guys from Parikrama, all of you, each of his teammates and friends from Parikrama, Nitin, Chintan, Dilip, Sharat, for each one of you. And for those not here, please share this. It's live on Facebook Live. You can enjoy it there later. Bhupendra, you wanted to share something before we move on?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to share with this group, since all of us have some connection or the other with Val. Val was actually 10 years ahead of me. We come from the same school. And I ran into Val a little too late in my life, to my great regret. But here I am. Today I'm in Uttarakhand right now, though I'm based in Delhi, but I'm in Uttarakhand these days. And roughly a year and a half, Mona would remember, Mona and Val were here at this very place where I am. And what really struck me, Aubrey, and that's the thing, and the more I listen to everybody here, I thought that maybe it was just my relationship with Val, which always forced him never to say no to me. But the story which was just narrated by Nitin, it just tells me that that's the nature of the guy. He was in Nagpur and he had to perform on a pre-committed concert that he had committed to somewhere in the northeastern parts of the country. Guwahati or somewhere he used to perform. But there was a festival which was to be organized here in Bhimtal by another fellow schoolmate of ours. And the person knew of my relationship with Val. And Val had said no to the guy. Val said that I don't have time, I need to go and perform there. So there's no way that I can make it to Bhimtal. The chap reached out to me, I reached out to Val. And I said, yeah, dekh le, agar kar sakta hai to aaja, dekh le if you can. So he said, no, are you going to be there? I said, yeah, I'll be there. He said, agar tu hoga to main aa jaunga main. And lo and behold, I don't know how he did it. He took the night flight from Nagpur, landed in Delhi, drove the whole night, 6 hours, from the Delhi airport to Bhimtal, came here, may well have got himself maybe a few hours of sleep, checked his sound and, the instrument and the sound, and Sushmit was there, I remember, on that event as well. And he played from 8:30 or something at night till around about 3 o'clock the next morning. Then again, a few hours of sleep, went out with me, said, let's go explore the mountains. He and I had some common friends here. We went for a cup of coffee near the Bhimtal Lake. There was a small little cafe there, which had one guitar where the string was broken. And, he just picked up a guitar and he just fixed up the string on his own and started strumming. And next thing you see that there is a whole waiting list of people, outside. You realize, oh God, there is some big musician who's come. So I really, in my life, I lost my dad a few years back. And that was as tragic and as life defining a moment as it has been since I lost Val. He was more than a brother to me. And after he passed away, it took me a while, to recognize the impact that he had on my life and a whole range of other people around me. So God bless him, God bless his soul. And I would really say that I don't think there's anyone else who would come anywhere near what Val was really all about. An evening in Delhi at Sudhanshuji's house or any of our other friends without Val, I think is going to be an incomplete evening today. That's the sad part. That's the sad part that we're not going to get him back. Thanks very much, Aubrey, for organizing this. And sorry if I'm still a little too emotional, but very difficult to believe that he's not there with us anymore.
Bhupinder, we all feel the same. And I think the story to carry forward is to take that legacy forward positively, for the next generation. So we have a lot on our hands to do. I'd like to move on to an era, St. Xavier's, Kirorimal College, Parikrama, Silkroute, and then there was this journey with Friends of Music, and I want to call on Mohit Satyanand and his sister Kanika. Mohit, let me just leave the mic to you. You share, and then look forward to Kanika's playing something. Mohit, Kanika, and Val were the founders or co-founders of Friends of Music, and I heard a lot. It's been 25 years or thereabouts or more. Mohit, we wait to hear from.
Yeah, it's about 26 years. So, from Yeah, 26 years. So, I think we all proceed through life with the sense that we take decisions, we act on them, and so we make things happen. That's the
Mo, just come
paradigm by
closer to
which
your
we
mic.
proceed.
Mohit, come closer to the mic.
Yeah. I said, we go through life. Is that better, Sanjay?
Much better, Mohit.
Is that better now?
Much better,
Yeah.
much better.
Yeah,
Please go
much,
ahead.
much
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, okay. So I said, we go through life thinking that we take rational decisions, we act on them, and so things happen. But every now and then something happens which makes you reconsider that mode of operation. Which was a rational process by which I happened to be in Kanha and exiting the forest and just wanting to text Val saying that I'm going to have dinner with you in Nagpur tonight. And I get a message saying that Val just passed away. And so I was destined to be at his funeral. It was almost like Val had decided that Anda, which is what he called me, elder brother, had to be there for his last visit to the church, where he'd played just the previous day. And I don't know what brought Kanika and Val together in a concert where he backed her. And the next day we were having lunch together, and Kanika said to me, there's so many wonderful musicians out there, and they don't get a chance to perform in concerts which are as well organized as the one that we had yesterday. And somebody should do something about it. And Val said, yeah, absolutely. I said, well, let's do something about it. And it was from that spirit of sharing that both Kanika and Val had, that Friends of Music was born. And a lot of people whom I see over here are people I got to know through Friends of Music, which, like all things that do well, happen not because of that intellect, not because of that rational application of mind, but because they were the right thing in the right place. In Christian terms, you become the instrument of something that is dictated from beyond you. And whenever I saw Val performing, I had this sense that that he too performed as an instrument. Nothing brought him more joy than sharing. And to the last time I heard him sing, which was on August the 15th, in a Zoom concert, what I saw in his eyes was this sense of wonder that he was the instrument. He was not the puppet master. He was just the instrument of this wondrous thing called music, which was given to him and which he could now be the instrument of. And as that instrument, the more people he could share it with, the more he was fulfilling this mission of life, which didn't come from mind. It came from here. It came from heart. It came from sharing. It came from sheer joy. And we were very privileged to be part of that journey for a while. One of the wonders of my life will always be that I was meant to be there at his funeral. And his last few months were dedicated to passing some of this love and this joy on to Diva. And so I'll close by saying, Diva, by repeating what a lot of people have said over here, that you have all of these people here who will always be available to you at the use of a phone, at the touch of an email send or a WhatsApp send, and in particular, one very, very tall, very old uncle, Mohit. God bless you. And thanks, Aubrey, for organizing this.
Thank you, Mohit. It's been so wonderful hearing you. Val has been speaking to me about Friends of Music. You know something? Val told me this, Mohit. He says, Aubrey, I'm going to introduce you to all my friends. Okay. And he's been speaking to me for weeks. Let's finish this show. And he was to do this show last week, which we did, and today, and then a series of shows through the 2021. He was to be, he says, I can't teach. We run an academy. He says, I can't teach, but I can do master classes. And we were talking about the next generation and how to pass it on to the next generation. Val is all about collaborations, Mohit. You know this better than me. You've been working with him for many, many more years. And what I see, and you know something, in 5 years, I've met so many of his friends. In 5 days, what did I say? 5 weeks. In 5 days, I've met so many of Val's friends. It's not a joke. It's amazing. Val has got an amazing way of reaching a place which is impossible to reach, doing things which seems impossible to do. And yeah, this is a great, great example for the next generation. Great example and inspiration for you, Diva. And I'd like to leave the floor now to Kanika to share and to sing a song. She's all ready, right? For the last 1 hour, she's been ready. Kanika, you need to unmute yourself. Yes, Kanika, go ahead.
Yeah. I said, I don't think I'm so ready with the song because I believe there's something wrong with the audio, but I'll give it a shot anyway. I just want to change the tense of this whole evening that we're having, because after listening to him, I really feel he's here right now with us. And so I'd like to say, Val, you walked into our lives in 1994 by a strange confluence of circumstances. When I say into our lives, I mean just us being Uma and Anju were here. The three of us have a music group called Just Us. And we had a lot of musicians accompanying us. And Val was known to a friend of Anju's, I think, and was introduced to us by her, Lakshmi, I think it was. And very shortly thereafter, we did our first concert together at the Maximilla Bhavan. And Val, I don't think there was anything but destiny that made our paths cross, because that marked the beginning of a really phenomenal musical journey, right from all the concerts that we did together, to setting up Friends of Music, to millions of these drawing room concerts, birthday celebrations, wedding celebrations. And you filled every heart in every space that you graced with this unparalleled energy, passion, joy, and love. And I think you're still here with us. And may you be here with us for many, many, many years to come. And so what I'd like to say is, so I say thank you for the music, the songs I'm singing. Thanks for all the joy they're bringing. Who can live without it? I ask in all honesty. What would I be without a song and a dance? What are we? So I say, thank you for the music, for giving it to not just me, but to so many of us all over the world. Thank you, Val. Thank you.
Thank you, Kanika, for the music and for your words. And yes, of course, we've got to thank Val and all his friends, and moving on, I'd like to invite Sanjoy. There was this journey with Friends of Music, and there's this journey with teamwork. But Sanjoy, share with us.
Thanks, Aubrey. As all of us know, Val sang his way into our hearts and souls. And I still remember things like Nights in White Satin and his guitar work in Hotel California, I Want to Break Free, and so much more. They say the good die young. And really, that's Val. He occasionally felt betrayed by some of his musical partners and many of the occasions that he sort of got into. But he never, ever held a grudge. He never, ever held that against the people. And he sort of picked himself up and he was off to his next concert. And even if they ever called them back, he was always there for them. I think this is the time, as Kanika and Mohit said, to really celebrate the fact that Val's music will continue to be in our hearts and soul. Friends of Music is a legacy which continues, and I think we're also planning something on the 17th of Jan. Kanika was saying is Val's birthday, so we'll try and get everybody together to do a little tribute to him. But just to end by saying from Punita and me that a couple of days ago, I think 2 or 3 days before we heard that he had passed, I had told some of my colleagues in office, I said, just check where Val is. And if he's in town, maybe New Year's this time, he's not going to be playing anything, ask him to come along with us to Diggy Fort. And I think it was the next to next day that I get this message at about, I think 6:30 in the morning or whatever, saying that he had passed. So to Diva, to Deepthi, to Mona, to Dolly, to from all of us, all our love. He will always be there. He's always been very special, and as Mohit said, he always gave of himself. He wanted to be loved. He loved. He entertained, and the only thing that he knew was his uncle Van and his guitar. So this is a time of great celebration. So from all of us, a big hug to all of you. And it was so amazing listening to each of you share their stories. Lots of love. And thank you, Aubrey, so much for making this happen. Thank you so much and Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Sanjoy. Merry Christmas. Season's greetings to all of you. It's been a joy. It's been a real joy listening to each one of us here together. And there are thousands and probably millions that will watch this post-live session as a recording. And I think there's a legacy we're leaving for the next generation. And I want to share that with you later. But before that, Val was also sharing about, this particular generation that we're talking about impacted Indian music in a way that I don't think anyone else has in the area of rock music. Okay. Earlier, we had the Indian population or music lovers appreciating the music that was made in US or UK. And here was a group that emerged. And there were bands like Parikrama, the bands like Silkroute. There was a famous band, Indian Ocean. And we have Susmit Sen with us. Do we have Rahul Ram? Do we have Amit Kilam? But Susmit Sen is with us. And before we play, Susmit has given us a recording to play that he believes is very apt. Yes, Rahul. Thank you. Good to see you also. Wonderful. So I'm going to just quickly ask both the gentlemen, Susmit and Rahul, to share a few words. And then I'm going to play a little song that Susmit has shared, which he believes really carries the spirit of Val in a way expressed through the music. But over to Susmit and then Rahul.
Yeah, well, it's unfortunate. It's really, really unfortunate. I have known Val for about 40 years, and he was 2 years junior to me in school, and he always used to address me as senior. And well, what can I say? I mean, this takes me back to when we lost Oshim, and then we lost Sonam recently, and now it's Val. And amazing musicians, amazing human beings. And for Val, I would say that he's one of the finest guitar players that I've ever seen. Just to take away from his musical bit, I would like to share once what happened. I used to use a particular gadget, which just burst one day. And I had to rush to the music store to buy a set of different pedals for my guitar. And Val happened to be there. And I have been always technologically very challenged. So I asked Val, I was having problems with the algorithm of those units. And he said that, yes, I will help you with this. I said that, listen, my system, my amplifier at home is different. So maybe the algorithm may have to change. He immediately offered that, why don't I come over and help you do that? And can you imagine? He just left everything, came home, and helped me set it up there and there. And that is what kind of a human being he was. Always helpful, always, always. Like Bhupendra was talking about, that we were there in Bhimtal, above Bhimtal, in a place called Jangliat Gaon. Out there also, I mean, Val was there. So I said, Val, will you help me set up my sound? And he was more than happy to do that. And obviously, after that, I mean, his performance was fantastic. Wherever he performed, was the ability to be able to connect with each and every person's emotions in a particular room is a very, very difficult thing to do in the field of art, any field of art. And that is what he had. My salute to him, and well, thank you, Aubrey, for doing this for all of us. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Rahul.
Yes, Rahul.
आ गया सॉरी बीच में किसी ने कहा था कि वैल का फेवरेट गाना गंगा नहाले है, तो 2 लाइन गा दूं?
Please, Rahul.
So the story of the song, as far as I know, is that Mohit used to hear this Fakir, this beggar, walk down the road outside his hostel in Himachal, singing this song. वो मोहित के दिमाग में ना.
Clarification, not this Mohit.
Mohit Chauhan. Sorry.
Yeah, that is Mohit Chauhan.
Sorry, Mohit Satyanan. तुम्हारे कमरे के बाहर पता नहीं कोई गाता था.
I didn't know when he became a Fakir. I mean, when he moved to Himachal.
हाँ, तो मोहित चौहान. तो उसको फिर इन लोगों ने एक जितना उसको याद था उसने कर दिया और फिर सराउंड करके वो गाना बना, which Val used to love to sing. So here goes 2 lines. गंगा नहाले चाहे तिलक लगा ले, ऊपर का लिखा कोई टले न टाले, पूजा करवा ले चाहे हवन करवा ले, ऊपर का लिखा कोई टले न टाले, वो है खिलाड़ी वो है खिलाड़ी तू है खिलौना. I forget the lyrics after that. Etc. तो देखो ये वैल के बारे में बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग चीज है कि like I forgot the lyrics. Most musicians ऐसे ही होते हैं, तो ट्यून याद आ जाता है and we say यार ट्यून आ गया ना, लिरिक्स होते रहेंगे. और पार्टीज में क्या होता है कि सबसे बेसुरा जो होता है उसको सारे लिरिक्स मालूम होते हैं.
मुझे हमेशा पता थे.
Tell me this.
You're so right. Rahul.
मुझे हमेशा पता थे.
तो वैल एक ऐसा बंदा था जिसको लिरिक्स भी याद आते थे और गाने भी. यार इतने सारे गानों के कॉर्ड याद रखना, और कोई और गा रहा है तो उसका स्केल बदल के उस कॉर्ड को मेंटली ट्रांसपोज करके बजाना is one of the most amazing things that Val could do. One of the weirdest things that Val and I have done together is that Val, Amit Kilam and I were the 3 witches in a play, in a Macbeth, in a like a Hindi Angrezi Macbeth. So the 3 witches were a band. So we actually came on stage and sang. और हमने कहा यार ये तो बेस्ट है क्योंकि लिरिसिस्ट वर्ल्ड्स बेस्ट है. शेक्सपियर ने लिरिक्स लिखे हैं आपके लिए, तो आप ये गा रहे हो. एंड आई हैव अ फोटो समवेयर व्हिच आई इट्स नॉट देयर विद मी राइट नाउ. I'll share it later with you guys. We were all like made up like this and we were looking like witches. And we used to sing when will we 3 meet again, when we वो होता ना in thunder lightning or in rain, तो उसका पूरा हमने रॉक सॉन्ग बनाया और हमने गाया. अब वैल पूरी जिंदगी भर मेरे से 2-3 किलोमीटर से दूर नहीं रहा है. तो वो मैं यहाँ रहता हूँ नॉर्थ दिल्ली में, हम दोनों नॉर्थ दिल्ली के. अभी भी अगर आप टैगोर पार्क पे जाओ मोना, so Shipley's is there, I forget the number, 200 something I think, on the main road. And I've been to his house a few times, we hung out together a few times. वो घर आता था जब वो पिछले कुछ सालों में वो नागपुर चले गया, और जब भी आता था दिल्ली, बाबा जी, so he was one of the बाबा जी gangs. बाबा जी क्या कर रहे हो, आ जाऊं शाम को, ओल्ड मंक है, हाँ ठीक है चलो. So that was it. So we would then meet and hang out. And the amazing thing about Val is घर आए हैं, बतिया रहे हैं, पर यार गिटार निकाल So गिटार निकाल के फिर गाना होना शुरू हो जाता था. And I remember the last time we shared a stage together was, I think last year, December, at the Navy Club in Delhi. Thanks to Parikrama and friends में मैं और Val दोनों हम लोग उस दिन गाए और वो बेचारा नागपुर से आके दिल्ली के घटिया एयर पोल्यूशन में लैंड किया है और उसका गला ऐसे हो गया. उसने कहा भाई साहब आज पता नहीं मैं गा पाऊंगा कि नहीं मगर कोशिश जरूर करूंगा. सबके स्केल नीचे कर दो. हमने सारे गानों के स्केल नीचे किए और फिर Val ने गाया. So Val, you know, I mean, like Shushmit said, Val, I mean, Shushmit and I are same batch from Xavier's, and so we've known Val since he was a grubby little schoolboy. And then we got to know him through the years as he kept becoming better and better and better at what he did. And then, you know, we used to meet, yahan kabhi galti se, kabhi ye musician, kabhi wo musician, ityadi, ityadi. हाँ ये है फोटो.
यही है.
Valentine, वो मैं वो अमित किलम. Correct. When will we three meet again? Right, the three witches. And that's when...
Rahul, was this Macbeth in black and white by Barry?
Yes, this is Royston.
Royston
Abel. हाँ. तो ये मेरे ख्याल 94 या 95 की बात है. That's what I remember at least. Anyway, so all I can say is यार Val तू चला गया और दिल तोड़ के चला गया मगर तेरी यादें हम सबके पास रहेंगी और जो खुशी तूने हम सबको दी है ना वो जीते हुए रहेगा ना. We can, I think we should celebrate the happiness he gave us rather than lament his loss. वो चले गया कुछ नहीं कर सकते इसके बारे में. गया मगर हम सबके पास इतनी खुशियां छोड़ के गया और पूरी दुनिया के पास इतनी खुशियां छोड़ के गया. So Valentine, cheers. Yes.
Valentine has also broken many strings. Many strings. I don't know about the heartstrings he's broken, but certainly guitar strings.
No, many heartstrings as well. Many heartstrings.
Wow, that is amazing. Rahul, thank you.
Thank you.
This is legendary. Susmit, thank you. You know, for the night, sorry.
Just the very fact that his name was Valentine, I think he made quite a good use of that, you know.
Let me be your Valentine.
Wherever he was asked, what's your name? And he would be very proudly saying, I am Valentine. And the person would be like, is he joking? No, I am Valentine. It's like, when I'm just listening to you people, just things are coming back. Otherwise, I'm just like, I don't even remember. But some of the things we really enjoyed doing was making use of his, you know, Valentine Shipley. And that was the name given to him by his uncle, Van Shipley.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, let's play that. You know, there are some photographs. We put together a tribute for him, but we'll play that. There are photographs right from childhood with his uncle Van Shipley. There's a story that I'm going to share. But, you know, I want to just share Rahul, Susmit, the wonderful musicians from Indian Ocean, from Parikrama and from Silkroute. I want to share for the sake of the next generation. These are the iconic stars that our nation has produced. And really, my humble request is let's do this more often. Okay, let's do this more often to share with the next generation, the music for the next generation. Thank you, Rahul. Thank you, Susmit, and all of you guys, friends of music. I want to share quickly before we move on to the slightly younger generation, and I've got a representative here waiting to speak. Anurag, you just get ready, but we just want to play a few pieces of music. One is, well, let's hear it. It's Friends of Music, and we're going to get into a genre of music which then Val journeyed, and that they included Sufi, they included gospel, and of course the rock and the pop. Okay, but here it goes.
It started as a little idea in one of the jam sessions at Mohit and Kanika's place. That is where all the music happened, all the writing happened, all ideating happened. So Delhi, at that point in time, about 20 years back, maybe more than that, The only places musicians could play were hotels or some gigs. इतने gigs होते नहीं थे, and absolutely there was no money. Maya Marina Manmara, Maya Marina Manmara. It was like a cult kind of a club with a cult kind of a following, and these guys, all our members would follow it anywhere. उस समय Facebook नहीं होता था, Twitter नहीं होता था. There was no internet majorly like the way it is technology. But it's the power of verbal communication, and especially musicians telling musicians. It was like Chinese whispers. It just kept getting bigger and bigger. Keso kaha bigadiyo, je munde sobar. Are man ko kahe na mudiye. So this became like, it started like a spark and it became a huge forest fire. Everybody in this country from north to south to east to west wanted to come and play at Friends of Music. And it was, something that you just know, and somebody takes the ball and runs away, and it was an avalanche. But for me, it created a platform for my music now to transcend not only the borders of this city, but to go national and probably now international as well. Mangan maran saman hai, mangan maran saman hai, mat koi mange bhi.
At all, it was really done with sort of so much love.
Yeah.
And I think
an evening really well spent.
Okay, some of the good names and artists that have come up from a Parikrama absolutely got a great platform. Indian Ocean, Silkroute, Mohit Chauhan is doing so well now in films. Then Orange Street, Bobby Cash. Maya Marina Manmara, Maya Marina Manmara.
Actually, people just looked forward to those Friends of Music evenings. It was like
kind of
anyone not on the mailing list was desperate to get back onto the mailing list. I mean, not get back on, but please put me onto the mailing list. I want to know where the next concert is. So I think people really enjoy it.
Je munde sobar, are man ko kahe na mudiye, jame base vikar. So people, I still meet people from across the world who still talk so fondly about Friends of Music. And when it's starting again in Delhi, and when we can have chapters in other countries, now Friends of Music chapters, and I think it's a brilliant idea. मैं भी भूखा ना रहूं, कोई साधु ना भूखा जाए, आशा तृष्णा ना मरी, कह गए संत कबीर.
Let's hear from Serendipity. That's a song that Susmit has sent us, which really represents Val's spirit. Let's hear that. Wow, that was tremendous. Thank you, Susmit. Thank you, Susmit. That was really fantastic. Diva, welcome back. I was just looking around for you, and please join in. We're just about to close this session in just a few minutes. But before that, I want to really take this time to thank each one of you for being here and for making this effort. It requires effort. It requires time. And thank you. Really, my deep, heartfelt appreciation to each one of you for being here. I also want to share this for the benefit of the next generation. Learn from the Gurujis and the maestros that we have. Val has been a maestro, a Guruji, to many of us young. We, I believe, have much to learn from men and women like these that our nation has produced. Kanika, appreciate you inspire the ladies, all right? And here's a lady with me, Lorraine. I think musicians transcend every barrier, okay? Talent transcends every barrier, and we're here to nurture it. And Diva, I believe your dad began a journey of sharing and teaching his music to you, and you picked up the guitar like him and like his uncle, Van, and you began singing. And I want to say this, let that journey continue. Let that journey continue. We've got videos to share, time is short, but we're going to meet again soon together as a team. I want to play that video. Before we play, Val had so much of music in him. There's rock, there's pop, there's country, there is gospel, there's Sufi, there's so much in him. And there's not enough time to share all of that music. I've put together music, but I'm going to keep it for another while. Bobby Cash is waiting to sing some of the songs. He's been thank you, Bobby, for being so patiently waiting to hear, we're waiting to hear you. So get ready to warm up. In a few minutes, we're going to have Bobby Cash singing a gospel song. But I'd like to play a little video that we put together. It'll give you a reflection of Val's life right from childhood that we've gathered in picture with his own guitar strumming. That's Val. You've seen images of his life from childhood until recent days. And I want to invite Bobby Cash to share. Bobby, you're ready for the next gospel song? But I know the two of you sang a lot of gospel besides other things as well. Gospel
We
as well
sang
as
a lot
country.
of gospel, but I think, as I've been thinking about it, let me tell you that I had a very, very special, a very unique kind of bond with Val, as so many of you have. But just, I think maybe a month and a half back, he had a way of talking. I wish I had shared that clip. I think he'd hurt his foot chasing a lizard or something. And the way he said it, something fell on, I look back at the past 30, 35 years, and there's so many beautiful memories, not just musical, but every time we were together, I remember it's like branded inside of me. It's been very, very special having him as a friend and a brother, and also as a fellow musician. And when we perform together, a lot of people would say, we just, maybe once in a while, people said, have you guys rehearsed? How do you do it? Because we just pick up anything. We didn't even know. We never planned. This is what we're going to sing. But the songs just came, he just started on something, and before he finished, and I'd take on, and man, he could just, he was so quick. He was like so quick on the draw. Just somebody very, very precious to me, very, very precious. And 2 months back, he told me, he said, I'm going to come to Dehradun once this lockdown is over, and I've got a studio at home. He said, I'm going to record your guitar, I'm going to engineer his stuff, and, we play together, but I want to record stuff. But he, like you said earlier, somebody said, he lived 3 lifetimes and in just such a short span. I believe that, There's so much, I could just go on, but I'd rather but instead of singing a gospel song, this is one song. It's like, I tell you, like we'd meet, it was very spontaneous, He'd reach for a guitar, and I'm also like that. I just reach for a guitar. And then we start strumming, and this song, whether it was on stage or whether it was just in a room, whether it was out in a park, maybe, we played together at airports too. When we've traveled together, either we just pull out our guitars, but this is one song that we'd always do. And he loved this song, and so do I. Guitar strumming alongside with me and his voice on the wall. Come and lay down by my side till the early morning light. All I'm taking is your time. Help me make it through the night. I don't care what's right or wrong, and I don't try to understand. Let the devil take tomorrow, 'cause tonight I need a break. Yesterday is dead and gone, and tomorrow's outside. It's sad to be alone. Help me make it through the night.
wrong. I don't try to understand. Let the devil take tomorrow, 'cause tonight I need a friend. It's so sad to be alone. Help me make it through the night. It's so sad to be alone. Help me make it through the night. As I was singing it, I could almost, I could hear him playing alongside of me. I know what he would do, what he would come up with, and harmonizing, and then normally you take the second verse and I do the first one, but we are celebrating today. Really.
Thank you, Bobby. Thank you so very much. Bobby, we're going to be just moving on. There is a special song that was sung by Stefan at church in Nagpur on Christmas Day. And this was a song that Bobby and he were to play together.
ये कैसा शोर है बीच आसमान में, ये कैसा शोर कुल जहां में। कैसा शोर है बीच आसमान में, ये कैसा शोर है जहां में, ये कैसा शोर है बीच आसमान में, ये कैसा शोर है जहां में, है किसके आने की तैयारी, है चारों तरफ क्यों बेदारी, मसीह हो जल करो तैयारी। कैसा शोर है बीच आसमान में, ये कैसा शोर है जहां में, ये कैसा शोर है बीच आसमान में, ये कैसा शोर है जहां में। कैसा शोर है गुलजार में, मसीह हो जल्द कर लो तैयारी. Praise God.
Thank you, Mr. Devas, for that beautiful number. God bless you.
Thank you. This song, the words in English mean, why is there so much noise in the world? Who is coming? Clean and search your hearts and soul, because that is what matters in the end. This is a song that was written by Val's uncle, Van Shipley. Val was from a family of musicians from both sides, mother's and father's side. And it's amazing to see this talented man. Val is a prolific thinker, writer, philosopher, composer, friend, a gem of a person, compassionate, kind, a pure soul. Did not belong to this cruel world, like a friend said. And we want to remember Val for so many things as he's been to us, and the so many things that he's been to so many. What I want to play for you is a song that he recorded while, he served the Jawans of the country. Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan was a famous slogan that Lal Bahadur Shastri gave this nation of India during one of the very, very tough times that our nation went through. And we're going through a similar tough time now with COVID-19. Val did this video, and Diva actually was behind the camera shooting this video. And you have a beautiful scene out there of the Himalayas. It's in Kashmir, it's shot in Kashmir. But let me play this for you. This, I believe, and we played it last Sunday for him. We played his song for him. And I want to play this song for you.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, shallow rain. Life is older than the trees, younger than the mountains, rolling like a breeze. Country road, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Farm, take me home. Country road, all my memory gather around her. Miner's lady, swing to the wall. Dark and dusty, painting on the sides. Misty taste of moonshine, teardrops in my eyes. Country road, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, country road. I hear her voice in the morning as she calls me. Radio reminds me of my home far away. When driving down the road, I get that feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday, country road, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country road, take me home. Country road, take me home. Now country road.
Val is now home. Val is now home. Says, take me home. Val is home. And thank you, everyone. I'd really like to take this opportunity to thank Mona, Diva, Dolly, Deepthi, each member of the family, and dear friends, his friends from school, his friends from college, his friends from life. Thank you for putting this, for helping us put this together in memory of him, as a tribute to him. And I just want to say this, Diva, I'm going to just bring this on a gallery view, and Diva, if you can come, I can't see Diva. Diva, if you're there, can you put your camera on? And really, I want to say these words are for you, Diva. Okay. Diva, yeah, you're there on Deepti's phone. Okay. Diva, you represent the next generation of our nation. Okay. There is a project that we spoke with your dad, and he was to collaborate. It is not an unfinished project that we spoke about. We're going to do it together. And friends, I'm speaking to each one of us here. Let's do it together. There's a project that we began for the youth of this nation, and Diva, you represent them. The project is India Dreams 2047. In 2047, when India will celebrate its 100 years as a century in free India, we want to prepare our next generation, which is just about 26 years away, to prepare for our future India. Let's work towards that. And there's another project which talks about the 100 greatest Indians to inspire the next generation, the 100 greatest Indians. Okay, let's work on that. I'll share with each one of you the project details. But at this time, I want to thank you. Diva, reach out. You've got family. We're not just dad's friends, we're family to you. All right? You've got a large family. And let's stay in touch. I want to thank a few friends who couldn't speak. George, thank you for connecting me so quickly to friends in Nagpur at such short notice. I want to thank so many of you. Vikram, you need to speak. I know you have something to share. You know, if I can request you to unmute yourself. Sorry, I missed that. If you can, George, I want to thank you. Really appreciate the tremendous work that you did.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's awesome.
Really
What you did is awesome. Thank you so much for doing it. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, this is a time I'm fairly overwhelmed with everything out here. But yesterday I was speaking to Mona and WhatsApping, and she said, so what did he call you? So I started thinking, what did Val call me? And I remembered that he never called me by my name. He used to call me, oh, Saleh. And that's how he was. He was like a breeze in my life. बड़ी बड़ी बातें आराम से कर देता था, और you would share things which you would never share with him. So every second day I would get a message or a call saying, क्या पका रहा है? मैं आ जाऊं. And then he would come over when he was here, and he would come कि मैं सिर्फ dinner के लिए आ रहा हूं, and then he would leave after 2 weeks. And that was every couple of months. So for me, it's more than a brother, but I'm so happy that he was in my life, and he's just made it richer. I have memories, I have skills thanks to him. So that's all I have to say. There's too much to say, and I can't put it together.
Appreciate. Thank you. We totally understand. I mean, there are so many things that I wanted to share. I'm just stuck for words. But I think we all understand each other. We all understand where we are at. And I think it's a time for reflection, time to really re-examine what life's priorities are, isn't it? As someone said, why do we wait for a time like this to get together? Let's get together more often and make life meaningful and purposeful.
And look at the happier side, like he always did.
Yes.
You would find happiness and a smile regarding however low life would take him. He would still be happy, and he would find it funny. So, and Pili Dal would solve all his problems. So,
yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. Sumit, please come. Please feel free. Anyone else, please feel free. We're going to close in a few minutes, and if you have something.
Yeah, Aubrey, I would like to say, I want to be mute. Aubrey, just like to take this time, and I really want to tell you that looking at all that is happening all across, thank you, Aubrey, for putting this across, and especially when I look at my relation with Val. So I just don't want to miss by saying this, that the scripture says, if you win the whole world and lose your own soul, what is it? And Val won the whole world, but he also has his soul with the Almighty, the living God. That was his terrificness. The time that he spent with us in Nagpur, he was a member of All Saints Cathedral, and we loved every time that he was given a standing reception all the time in the church. And I was the secretary. I told him, Val, whenever you are in the town, you have to come in front and sing a song for the Lord. And he had an open invite all the time. So just, Val, we miss you. And we know that you are with our living Lord, Jesus Christ. And we will meet you once again eternally. Thank you so much for this, Aubrey. I missed it so much. And thank you for allowing me to speak. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, George. We have Sumit and we have Anubhav. Can you, Abhinav, sorry. Abhinav and Sumit, can you please share?
Hello, can you all hear me?
Yes, Sumit. Sumit is from Nagpur.
Yes, yes. So, hello and good evening, everyone. And this evening, there is so much that has been said about Val that it is hard for me to, think of something that hasn't already been said. I would say that we have all been touched by Val, but that would be too mild. I think we've all been hit by this storm called Val because he was such a tremendous person. For me personally, Val was like an inspiration, a mentor, a friend, and a counselor. Uh, and also for the past 8 months, his neighbor here in Nagpur. Val, as you know, had made Nagpur his second home. And if I may speak on behalf of everyone here in Nagpur, his family here in Nagpur, we were all fortunate enough to be a part of his family, Babaji, as we would call him. Uh, and Val, you all know Val, he walks in the room and he's the loudest one in the room, but he's also the sweetest and the nicest, most gentle guy. And even with all his talent and experience and wisdom that he had, he was so kind and humble of a person. Far away from pride or anger or any kind of judgment. Being so much younger to him and him being so experienced and a senior in every possible way, he always made me comfortable and brought out the best in me on stage and also off stage. If tonight, if you think about Val, if you remember him, and if you think that it is you that had the deepest friendship with him, the most strongest bond with him, that he was your family, and that he was closest to you, you would all be right, because that was who Val was. That was his unique ability, to make you feel so special and to have this unique bond and friendship with everyone individually. So yeah, that's all I want to say. And he was so full of love, so full of life, and he had that childlike wonder, which sometimes we lose along the way. So that's all. Val has been a part of our lives, and he will always be a part of lives. Let us remember him. Let us celebrate him. Let us cherish his memories. Let us celebrate his music, his legacy, and everything that he was. That's all that. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Sumit. Abhinav, if you're around, can we quickly have you speak a few words before we close? And Bobby, in closing, if you can continue playing your music.
I am.
And yes, you are. Thank you. Love to hear this. Abhinav, are you around? Okay, we'll move on. I just want to share what. Just one sec. Deepthi just shared something. Yeah, Deepthi says Val loved his music, loved his life, loved his music, loved his friends, and most of all, loved our daughter Diva. It's shocking that he left overnight. He was a God-fearing person, and we know he is with God in a better place, but gone too soon. Diva thanks us. Thanks you for your support to Diva. Deepthi thanks you for your support to Diva. And Diva and Deepthi, please count on us. Continue to be in touch with us. We will be in touch with you. All right? And remember, you have friends. Mona says, miss my brother every day that passes by. Through through the good and the bad, we were always there for each other no matter what. I wish you were still there. To tell you again that I love you and that you are the best brother ever. I will forever be your little sister, and you will forever be my big brother. Ah, such heartfelt messages. Let's live our life fully as Val lived. 3 lives in one. Let's live ours more than 100%. Let's meet more often. And thank you, Vikram, for what you shared. I know we're bursting with emotion. We all are. But let's continue to be in touch. And thank you once again for making this a wonderful evening, remembering Val and paying our tributes, our humble tributes to a great man. Let's continue enjoying some music that Bobby is playing for us. We'll bring this tribute session to an end very gently, very sensitively, even as Val has been very gentle and very sensitive and very loving. God bless each one of you. Thank you.
When you look back and connect the dots, quote unquote, Mr. Steve Jobs. And I think I'm very, very blessed to be able to live this very, very amazing life of traveling, of playing music. Take my and walk here by my side. Let me hear your heartaches and dry the tears you've cried. Never will I leave you. Never walk away. I'll lead you through the darkness and keep you through the day. Maya Marina Manmara. It was like a cult kind of a club with a cult kind of a following. And these guys, all our members would follow it anywhere. उस समय Facebook नहीं होता था, Twitter नहीं होता था. There was no internet majorly like the way it is technology. But it's the power of verbal communication. And especially musicians telling musicians, it was like Chinese whispers. It just kept getting bigger and bigger. I could not have asked for anything more, and I will not trade this for anything in my life, for anything. To be able to meet people, hear their stories, share my story, listen to their music, the cultures. I am a huge foodie, to get to travel and savor various kinds of cuisines in the world, various kinds of dressing, headgear, music. But it's the same. When the musician, you make friends everywhere, just like that.
Smile, everlasting smile. Smile can bring you near to me. Don't ever let me find you gone, 'cause that will bring a tear to me. Smile,
इस रात में दमका है जो, दमका मतलब इज एन एक्सप्लोजन ऑफ लाइट. इस रात में दमका है जो, ये चांद सा चमका है जो, वो नूर है तेरी आंख का, बुझ जाए तो सब राख.
वाह.
वो नूर है तेरी आंख का, बुझ जाए तो सब राख. Everything is ash.
Let's start a brand new story now. Our love. Don't you say that I don't even mean a single word I say. Come on, people. It's only words. Words are all I have to take your heart away.
I think music is something, it is a language that has no language barrier. It's the same 7 notes connecting the whole world, all cultures, all religion, all caste, all creed, everything. It's a common language. You might not understand the language, but you feel the power of music.
Oh Lord, my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the worlds thy hands have made, I see the stars, I hear the rolling thunder, thy power throughout the universe display. How great thou art! How great thou art!
Thank you. Here's a message for Diva from Brinda. Diva, this is Brinda. I'm going to share with you, Diva, what a friend whispered in my daughter's ears when they lost their father, my husband Tejeshwar, something that stayed with them for years. She said, "You have lost your father. It is huge. But remember, you have parted with him now, but will never have to part with him again. He's now all yours." And that is so true, Diva. He is now all yours to love and to cherish forever. Big hugs and loving you. Diva, these messages are coming to you. There's a whole lot of chat messages which I will share with you. All right. And we continue. And Bob is just waiting to play the music. There's one more video and then continue to play the music. Those of you who want to continue to stay around, message. I mean, there are a lot of messages coming on Facebook Live. If you guys want to stay around and continue passing messages, please do that, because these are going to be transcribed and shared, okay, for posterity, for the next generation to be nurtured and to be inspired. Thank you. We'll have one more video, and Bobby, you can continue playing the music. Anurag, before we close, thank you for coming and joining us. I wanted to share a little story about Anurag. Anurag Shankar is a son of Pramod Shankar, a gentleman who used to be with Times Music at a time when Val's career was just emerging, and so also the careers of various of these musicians at that time in the 1990s. And Anurag, why don't you come on screen and onto camera and share your memories of Val while you were a little kid and Val and your dad would have chats and trips and gigs.
Yes, sure. Sorry, I had to just log out. I was there for the first 1 hour of the meeting, and it was amazing to hear everybody speak, especially the Xaverians with the passion and the love that they have for and the spirit, which we also heard on the show last week on the Lorraine Music Channel show. It was a really special episode to see Val share about his school days like that. But yeah, I just wanted to share very quickly. I was telling Aubrey the other day that I met Val at a very impressionable age. And as far as music is concerned, I have learned everything pretty much that, that I think that my music says for itself how much I've picked from Val, because Val used to himself say that sometimes that if I don't look at who's playing, I feel like I'm hearing my own recording, because I've picked up so much from him. And when I met him and when I heard him play for the first time. And secondly, the whole, the amazing appreciation for life and for music that he had, it is something that is so rare. And I think we've been hearing it. I think everybody feels that about Val, that it is so rare to see somebody with so much love for life and for music that exists. There was like, we all get carried away that we'll be creating something incredible. But the way he loved music of his idols and of the people that that have made great music, that kind of appreciation of music I have not seen in many people. So it is something that I will truly miss, and of course the appreciation for life. That every time I called him, every time we spoke to him, or he called us, and I used to just feel like everything is fine. I used to just feel like it's going to be okay. There's no need to stress too much about things, and no need to worry so much about things musically and otherwise. And that's a space that our entire family, a lot of people. So my father was in Times Music in 1999 when we met Val. So we've known him for now 21 years. And I was all of 14 at that time. I'm 35 now. So yeah. So this has been like, he was such an influential figure for me, and he was so close to my father, and there was so much comfort knowing that Val is, he's going to be coming through our home at least once or twice a year. We used to just feel normal. Like, there'll be music coming in, there'll be merrymaking happening, we'll be forgetting about everything else, just kind of having talk about life and about music and about how it impacts all of us and what's the value for everything. And a lot of musicians, and Rahul and Shushmit were here. My father was launching the recording careers of all these people that time. Indian Ocean, Jasbir Jassi, Valentine, a lot of people from Delhi. A lot of people came through that home in Bombay when we were there, and there used to be people there every night and jamming. But Val is the one who stayed with us, and he kept coming, and he remained a part of our family, and we kept meeting him, and we kept that connection was never lost. If not an album or a few albums or few gigs or something like that, it was something so much more. And I'm truly grateful to him for embracing us and so many others, as we saw, like his own, which not many people do anything close to that nowadays. And as Prasoon was mentioning that, he used to just encourage people to play and make music and find their voice and not stay back about anything. And everybody from myself to my dad, who was a sarod player, and then he had not touched the instrument for a really long time. He started playing again because Val started jamming with him. And they did a few concerts, and that was a little bit of an era where they did these Hindustani with guitar kind of performances. So the contribution is, there is one thing where you can chart somebody's discography and their value in terms of their hits and worth and those kind of things. But this is something else. I think Val has just impacted so many people in so many inspiring ways, not just to love music and worship it like he did, but to just love life and live like you are here to have a good time. So that's something that he and my father had in common, and I will so miss that because they're both gone now. We lost our dad in 2016, and even my wife was saying that Val was a connect that we had to him, because we used to feel like, because he had a very different relationship with him and a different relationship with us, and now both of them are gone in a jiffy. He's gone too. So it's too much to handle right now for all of us, but yeah, I mean, that's something that we will truly, it's a big vacant spot in our lives, and I'm sure in a lot of others. But then again, as I was saying, the appreciation of music is so inspiring, and I think he has done that for so many people, the experienced people of his era are here, but there are so many youngsters, so many people of my generation and later who have seen Val and play in the same room and feel that fire and feel like, okay, we want to do this. So that is something that is unbeatable and something that will always live on. And I'm so proud of him for that. That's something that not everybody has.
Thank you, Anurag. Thank you for sharing that. And I can see that Kunal is around. Sorry, Kunal, I've been getting messages. Would you like to share something before we close? And Abhinav is not around yet, is he? But there's Kunal, there's Abhinav, and Chintan. I can still see you around. So before we close, is there anything you'd like to share? Please put on your camera and share.
Aubrey, I don't know if you can hear me.
Hi, good evening, Aubrey. This is Abhinav Chaturvedi here.
Hi, Abhinav. Abhinav, you're driving. Can you hold on? Kunal is just speaking. You stay on camera.
Yeah, I'll fine. I'm fine. I'll.
Right, Kunal.
It's if I was to tell stories about Val, we'd have to be born a couple of times again, but I speak for him from his house at Nokuchiatal. I heard a couple of other people. I heard another gentleman who lives across the lake and a little higher up from us. But this is Val's house in Nokuchiatal, and he spent so much time here that it's difficult to not walk out and not see him. I'm sorry, but it's difficult to say. But I spoke to him one day before he left us, and he said, "I'm done. I'm going to stay 6 months at Nokuchiatal and 6 months in Goa. And in between, we have to live in Nagpur for Diva till she's able to join us in our musical journey and be, join the Fakir for to spread the love and spread the music. Like you have repeated so many times, I don't think he loved anything or anyone more than he loved Diva. And every time we were doing a video call and Diva would walk in, or every time Diva would walk in, he would give me and my wife a call and say, ask us to speak to each other or whatever, I hope Diva is listening into this.
Yes, she is.
We were going to give a call to Diva's mom and Diva tomorrow. But I'll say it here. Your dad's left so much for you, Diva. So much love and so much support and so much everything that you really don't have to worry, ever. and we were supposed to tell you this on your birthday or your dad's birthday. I don't know what the exact instructions are, but all of us here, and you've got a huge family, and like we shared your dad with you, you can share us as you please. And probably God wanted a private concert, so he called Val, but he was an angel when he lived, and he's going to be an angel forever, So you have nothing to worry about. You have everything to only celebrate from now onwards. Once you've grieved, which is very important, but after that, you have only to celebrate your dad. And that's what we're going to do. Celebrate your dad at every given opportunity, every day. Stories we can meet. Stories, you've been here, you've lived with us, Diva. You've been in Paint as well with us. You've lived there with us as well. You're most welcome to come here anytime. This is your home. You're most welcome to go anywhere where we are. But there's something very special that we're going to share with you very soon. You just have to hold your horses for a little while, because this is how your dad wanted it. So we'll share that with you. Just a couple of more days, 15, 20 more days to go for your birthday, for your dad's birthday. And we're going to share that with you. Auntie Sonia is going to share that with you as well. But till then, I want to say thanks to everybody. I want to say thanks to you, Aubrey, for doing what you did. Rahul's a Babaji, and he's so well said everything what needs to be said about Val. Sushmit, I haven't heard Chintan. I would have loved to hear him. There have been many nights when Val and Chintan and everybody has just been here and sung Bob Marley to their own things. So many other people who've been there. Nitin, thanks to Nitin. But thank you so much. But, at the end of the day, Val's true legacy is Diva, and she needs to be a sort of a replacement for Val, as far as we are concerned. And Mona and Dolly are lovely. Mona and Doll, actually, I don't call her Dolly, I call her Doll. They're lovely, and your family. I don't have to say anything. We've been talking every day. I don't have to say anything. But Aubrey, thanks. I could continue for hours and days and months and years, but that's all. That's all for now. That's all for now. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you, Kunal. That is lovely. Thank you. That is heartfelt. That's straight from the heart. And Diva, you've heard it. And you can play this over and over again. I'm going to send it across to you. You've heard this. And Kunal, thank you. It's such a lovely heart. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you. We'll be in touch soon. All right. Yes. And Kunal, Chintan is here. Chintan, if you can open your camera and speak, Kunal is waiting to hear you. You've heard Abhinav is next, but since Kunal mentioned Chintan, can you just switch on your camera and share?
Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, Chintan. There you are.
Hi everybody.
Hi.
And almost everybody here is like a brother or a sister because of Val, because of the music. I mean, all I can say is everything's been said. I mean, it's insane how he never said anything bad about anybody, how he was let down repeatedly by so many musicians, including us. We had a project together, and we just didn't get him. We used to tell him, Val Baba, मतलब ये तो ठीक है, लेकिन हमारा पेट कैसे भरेगा, हम लोग बिल कैसे देंगे, आप तो ठीक है मस्त मौला हो, आप तो फकीर हो, आप तो मतलब खड़े होके बजाना शुरू कर दोगे, हमारा क्या होगा, हमारे बारे में क्यों नहीं सोचते. But he just kept coming back. He just kept coming back to give us more love, to give us more music. तू अब अजब मेरे इस प्रोजेक्ट में आ जा, तू उस प्रोजेक्ट में आ जा, तू यार मैं ये कर रहा हूँ. So I mean it was unending love, and that's all I want to remember him for. And thank you guys for that's it from me.
Thank you, Chintan. That's so very well, no, Kunal?
Yeah.
That's so very well. And thank you, Chintan. I really appreciate this. And I want to leave it to Abhinav is driving and he's waiting to share. Abhinav, it's yours. Abhinav, you need to unmute yourself.
Very good evening, everyone. Aubrey, thank you so much, Mona, for making me part of this wonderful. I got the news of Val when I was going for a wedding, and my wife was sitting at the back of the car, and she said, "Oh shit!" I said, "What happened?" She said, "Val." I said, "What happened to him?" And then I spoke to Bobby. And I am reminded of Val as a brother, much younger to me. And we have some very fun kind of association. गंगा नहा ले की कहानी है कि हम लोग मैं पूजा करता हूँ तो वैल कहता था क्या करता है यार तू ये पूजा इतनी क्यों करता है मैंने कहा भाई ऊपर वाले को साधना पड़ता है कहता यार देख मेरा गाना नया है तो मैं तुमको सुनाना चाहता हूँ and because my father's favorite was Kabir, so he went and actually did something blasé, and he what a beautiful composition, what a beautiful idea coming in. Sorry, I'm driving. I'm somewhere in Faridabad. But having said that, it has been a wonderful journey. एक event की मुझे याद आ रही है. I was anchoring a show with Val in Kanpur. And in Kanpur, Mohit was performing, and by the time it was pretty late, and sound पहुंचा नहीं तो मैंने Val से कहा मैंने Val से कहा कि Val ऐसा है मैंने वैल से कहा कि भाई देखो ऐसा है कि यहाँ पे तुमको लाउड स्पीकर्स पर गाना पड़ेगा साउंड पहुंची नहीं थी वैल कह रहा क्या कर रहा है मैं कहा सच में मजाक नहीं कर रहा साउंड आई नहीं है दिल्ली से सो बाय द टाइम वी अनाउंस दिस होल थिंग व्हिच केम फॉरवर्ड एंड सारा क्राउड उठ के चला गया इट वाज प्रीटी लेट एंड इट वाज हैपनिंग एंड वेरी लेट इन द नाइट एंड 10 बजे सब लोग उठ के खाना खाने चले गए और वैल कह रहे मजा नहीं आया यार पूरी कॉन्सर्ट के अंदर वी हैव एक्चुअली गॉन एंड डन नथिंग अबाउट इट सो हमने फिर जैम किया पूरा रात एंड वी वेंट रियली
Okay, we seem to have lost Abhinav. I think he's driving and his signals are a problem. We'll bring this to a close in a few minutes. And Bobby, if you're around, we could hear the strums of your guitar as we bring it to the close. Bobby, really appreciate your patience over this time. Really, really appreciate you being with us for over 2 hours. Thank you. And thanks to each one of you for being here and joining us. Diva, you're loved. You're very much loved and blessed. And may God bless you. We shall be in touch. We shall talk. And let's continue the journey of life together. Thank you and God bless each one of you. Mona, please come online. Yeah, just come online. Abhinav, we can't hear you. But Mona, you can come in. Yes, Mona.
Okay. I know we're working on some of the things because Val kind of left us too early and too soon. But for Val, I think more than anything, his music was his legacy. He had ample amount of guitars, equipment, electronics, units. And I think it's been his dream always to be able to set up an academy where he could teach and mentor a lot of upcoming musicians. He did it in his own way. But as of now, from what I have been speaking to his friends and what I've come to know, I think all his equipment, his guitars, his units, everything We are planning to set up an academy. We need to decide where this is going to be. His legacy are his instruments, which are not going to be given to anybody, but will be part of the academy for anybody to come and learn at any point of time. We are going to involve all his musician friends and see how they can be part of the academy. And I think the Valentine Academy of Music is something he dreamed of in his life. And this is something as a tribute and as a legacy, that is something I want to work with all his friends on. And I will definitely be in touch with all of you, the whole in fraternity, Valley friends and his music fraternity, and see how we can take this forward. So this is something I really wanted to share from my heart, because I really wanted to, me and Dolly, Kunal, we've been talking about this and we're seeing how we can actually put it together. It's very early days right now, but these are just some initial thoughts that we are thinking, something that will give a lot of peace to Val and to our hearts as well. So that's
Certainly, Mona. Thank you. Actually, yes, absolutely. You will have the support of the friends and fraternity all around. Mona, we'll bring this to a close. Diva, may God bless you. Abhinav, we'll be in touch. There'll be many more times together. May God bless you. Thank you. Take care. Good night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Aubrey.